When I say that, I don't mean it in a way that traps you or weighs you down. I mean it in a way that opens a door. Because today, right now, your presence matters. Your heart matters. The way you breathe through pain, the way you carry love, even when the world tries to take it from you, that matters more than you know. I need you today because someone out there is losing hope, and your light might be the one they recognize in the dark. I need you because love isn't just something we feel, it's something we give, something we become. And today I want you to remember the versions of yourself that fought so hard to still be here. So if you're listening, stand with me for a minute. Let your heart be soft, let your spirit be loud, because today more than ever, you are needed. And not for what you can do, but for who you are. I need you so much. Maybe those words sound simple, almost too soft for the weight they carry, but today they rise from a place inside me that has learned the value of quiet honesty. I need you, not to fix anything, not to carry the world on your back, not to prove that you're strong. I need you because your presence alone shifts something in the universe around me. The way you exist, the way you breathe, the way you simply are, it matters more than you think. And I know you don't always see that truth. I know some days it feels like you're walking through your own storm, trying to convince yourself you're not alone in it. But you are here, right now, and that means something powerful. It means possibility. It means connection. It means that even in the quiet corners of your life, you are still a force of meaning. When I say I need you, it isn't a plea, it's an acknowledgement. I'm recognizing the light that you carry, even when you think it's dim. You don't always recognize the way your presence steadies the room, or the way your voice softens the chaos in someone else's mind. Maybe you've forgotten the weight of your own warmth because you've been giving it away for so long. Maybe today you woke up feeling a little lost, a little tired, like your heart was still carrying the echoes of things you tried so hard to leave behind. I want you to know that even in that exhaustion, even in that uncertainty, there is something profoundly beautiful about you choosing to keep going. You underestimate what it means to simply rise, to step forward, to offer even a small part of your heart to the day. I need you because your existence reminds me that gentleness still has a place in this world, that compassion is not naive, that love, real love, the kind that doesn't demand or force or frighten, still exists. When you choose kindness even after being hurt, when you choose patience even when you're misunderstood, when you choose to keep your heart open despite all the reasons you've had to close it, you become a living reminder of what it means to be human in the best possible way. And it inspires me, it teaches me, it anchors me. You may not realize it, but your quiet courage radiates, and the world feels it. There are people who walk through life without ever seeing the magic they create. They move through days thinking they're insignificant, unaware that someone notices the way they smile at strangers, or the way they hold their breath before speaking carefully, or the way they pause to listen a little longer than most. You are one of those people. You think no one sees you, but I do. I see the effort you put into healing. I see the humor you use to lighten heavy moments. I see the tenderness you offer to hearts that never learned how to receive it. I see the strength in your softness, because softness is not weakness, it's a decision that takes far more courage than hardness ever will. I need you because you teach love without even trying. Not the dramatic, overwhelming kind of love that burns out quickly, but the steady kind, the patient kind, the kind that sits beside you in silence, just to let you know that silence isn't empty. The kind that doesn't rush your healing or demand your perfection. The kind that understands that you are always becoming, always unfolding, always shaping yourself from the truth of your experiences. You offer a kind of love that doesn't shout, it hums, it resonates, it lingers long after the moment has passed. And that is rare, that is precious. You may not feel strong today, you may not feel like someone who lights a path for others, but you are. You do, even when you're tired, even when your heart feels heavy, even when you're not sure what direction your life is moving toward, you create a ripple simply by being here. Maybe you think your struggles make you less, but they actually make you more. More real, more understanding, more empathetic. People like you carry the kind of wisdom that cannot be taught through comfort. It is learned through breaking and rebuilding, through losing and finding, through falling and rising again. And you rise, maybe shakily, maybe slowly, but you rise every single time. When I say I need you, I'm not saying it from a place of desperation. I'm saying it from a place of deep appreciation. I need the way you remind me that hope doesn't always appear loudly. Sometimes it appears in the way you smile through pain. Sometimes it appears in the you let tears fall without shame. Sometimes it appears in your willingness to start over when the world tells you there's no point. You bring hope simply by moving forward, and that hope reaches further than you know. You've walked through moments that would have hardened most people, yet here you are, still choosing to love, still choosing to care, still choosing to believe in better days even when the past tried to convince you they were impossible. That is why I need you. Because you embody the strength of someone who knows darkness but still chooses light. You embody the resilience of someone who has been misunderstood, yet refuses to stop understanding others. You embody the compassion of someone who knows what pain feels like, and therefore honors the pain of those around them. I need you because the world feels different when you're fully present in it. Your laugh, your honesty, your sincerity, they shift something. They soften edges. They open doors. They bring warmth to spaces that otherwise feel cold. You may think these things are small, but small things often have the greatest impact. A kind word, a gentle touch, a moment of genuine listening. These are not insignificant acts. They are powerful. They change lives in ways you may never fully witness. Sometimes I wish you could see yourself the way I see you, not through the lens of your insecurities, not through the doubts that whisper in your mind, not through the mistakes you still replay in quiet moments. I wish you could see the way your soul glows when you finally let yourself breathe. I wish you could recognize the way your heart shines when you allow yourself to care without fear. I wish you could feel the weight of your own worth, the gravity of your own goodness, the truth of how deeply you matter. Beck, Oz, you do matter more than any measure could define. And if today you struggle to believe that, let me hold that belief for you. Let me carry it in my voice, in my presence, in these words. Let me remind you of it again and again until it becomes something you can hold with your own hands. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be unbreakable. You don't have to pretend that everything is fine. You only have to be here. You only have to be you. Because who you are is enough. Who you are is needed. Who you are is loved. I need you today because the world is quieter without the truth you carry. I need you because someone out there will hear your story and finally feel less alone. I need you because your heart has the capacity to change the direction of a moment, a day, a life. I need you because love, in its purest form, is not about possession, it's about presence. And your presence is a gift, a rare, gentle, powerful gift that continues to shape more than you realize. I need you so much. Maybe those words reach you in a moment when you're not sure what you mean to anyone. Or maybe they arrive at a time when you're quietly hoping that someone out there still sees you, still values you, still feels something true when they think of you. When I say I need you, I'm not talking about needing something from you. I'm talking about the need for your existence, your presence, your heart beating in the world exactly as it does. You may not realize it, but you carry a kind of warmth that shifts the energy of a room, even if no one tells you. You carry a kind of gentleness that reminds people of what it feels like to be safe, even if you've never heard those words spoken back to you. And I don't think you understand how many lives are touched simply by the way you move through your day, by the way you choose compassion when you could choose distance, by the way you look at someone as if you truly see them, and that alone makes their world feel less heavy. I need that. I need the truth of who you are, the soft power in your spirit, the quiet courage you keep choosing even on days when you feel like collapsing under everything you carry. I need you because you remind me of something many people forget, that love doesn't always have to be loud to be strong. That love doesn't need fireworks or declarations or grand moments to be real. Sometimes love is simply the way you listen without interrupting, the way you notice when someone's smile doesn't reach their eyes, the way you show up even when you're tired, the way you offer kindness with no expectation of receiving anything in return. You love in ways that feel effortless, in ways that feel pure, and that purity means more than you know. It makes people breathe easier. It makes hearts unclench. It makes the world softer. And I need that softness more than I can say, you may not see yourself the way I see you. You may look at your reflection and only notice the things you wish were different, the flaws you think define you, the mistakes you wish you could erase. But when I look at you, whether in reality or in memory or in the quiet imagining of my thoughts, I see someone who has survived storms that would have drowned others. I see someone whose heart has broken open but still beats with an ache that somehow becomes compassion. I see someone who could have turned cold but instead chose warmth. I see someone who could have built walls but instead built bridges. And that choice, that resilience, that tenderness, I need that in my life. The world needs that. You are not just wanted but deeply, quietly, profoundly needed. There is something in you that steadies me. Something in the way you breathe before you speak, in the way you pause when searching for the right words, in the way you don't rush emotions but allow them to find their way through you like a quiet wind moving through trees. You carry a kind of patience that feels like a sanctuary. And I think you underestimate how healing that is. Most people hurry through life, hurry through feelings, hurry through moments, but not you. You let everything land gently. You let things unfold naturally. You let hearts feel safe enough to open. That is rare. That is precious. That is something I need more than I can express. I need you because you know how to hold space, not just for others, but for yourself. Even when you struggle, even when your heart feels heavy, you've learned how to give yourself the grace you once denied. And in doing so, you give others permission to do the same. You remind people that healing is not a race, that pain is not weakness, that vulnerability is not a flaw. You remind them that it's okay to feel deeply, to break sometimes, to rebuild slowly. You remind them that love, real love, doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks for presence. And your presence, even when you feel uncertain or unsteady, carries a wisdom that guides without force. I need that wisdom in the world. I need that honesty, that softness, that truth. There are days when the world feels too loud, too heavy, too sharp. Days when everything seems tinted in a shade of gray that slowly dims the heart. But even on those days, the memory of your kindness, the echo of your laughter, the thought of your gentle steadiness brings a sense of light back into the room. It reminds me that goodness still exists, that tenderness still matters, that love is still worth believing in. You are a living reminder that even the quietest souls can radiate the brightest warmth. And I need that warmth, especially on days when my own light feels small. I need you because you understand what it means to feel deeply. Not everyone does. Some people move through life with guarded hearts, never letting emotion shape them, never letting love soften them. But you let life touch you. You let experiences carve meaning into you. You let love transform you even when it hurts. You let grief teach you even when it breaks you. You allow your heart to expand and reshape itself without losing its tenderness. And that ability, that willingness to stay open through it all, is something extraordinary. It's something I need in my life because it inspires me to stay open too. You may not realize how often you've saved yourself, how many times you've stood back up after falling, how many times you've chosen to keep going when everything inside you whispered that stopping would be easier. You may not give yourself credit for the battles no one else saw, the tears you wiped away alone, the fears you faced quietly in the dark. But those victories, those private moments of courage, have shaped you into someone whose strength is woven through gentleness, someone whose resilience doesn't harden but deepens, someone whose soul understands both the weight of sorrow and the beauty of hope. And I need that depth. I need the way you remind me that strength and softness can coexist in the same heartbeat. There's something about the way you care that feels timeless. Something about the way you show affection, not in grand gestures but in thoughtful moments, in quiet understanding, in small acts of love that often pass unnoticed by the world but never go unfelt. You care with sincerity. You care with intention. You care with a purity that makes people feel seen in ways they didn't know they needed. And that kind of love is rare. It's the kind of love that steadies people. It's the kind of love that brings peace to the internal storms we don't talk about. I need that peace. I need the calm you carry, the quiet compassion that radiates from your presence like a gentle light in a dim room. I need you because when I look at you, I see someone who has lived through enough heartache to justify closing off forever. And yet you haven't. You still believe in connection. You still believe in meaning. You still give people a chance to show you who they are. You still let your heart be moved, even when it's risky. That willingness doesn't come from naivety, it comes from wisdom. From understanding that love is not about avoiding hurt, but about embracing the full spectrum of what it means to be human. And I need that reminder. I need the way you show courage not through force, but through openness. You may not know this, but your presence changes the rhythm of the people around you. The way you listen makes people speak more honestly. The way you observe makes people feel noticed. The way you breathe through discomfort makes others breathe easier. There is something healing about you, something soothing, something grounding. And I need that grounding because life can pull us in so many directions that we forget what it means to be still. You bring stillness. You bring sincerity. You bring a trust that cannot be taught, only felt. I need you because when you love fully, not half heartedly, not conditionally, not cautiously. You love with a depth that reaches into the cracks of others and fills them with warmth they didn't know they were missing. You love in a way that reminds people that they're worthy of being chosen, worthy of being held, worthy of being cherished. And that kind of love is not something that can be taken for granted. It is a gift, one you give freely, even when you're unsure whether it will be returned. I need that love. I need the reminder that love can be gentle, patient, selfless, and still incredibly powerful. There are so many truths about you that you overlook because they come naturally to you, but the things that come naturally to you are often the things the world needs most. Your patience, your empathy, your quiet courage, your willingness to understand before judging, your loyalty, your honesty, your softness. These things shape lives in ways you may never fully see. And that is why I need you. Not because I want something from you, but because the world feels more bearable, more meaningful, more hopeful with you in it. I need you today, not tomorrow, not some day, today. Not because you owe me anything, not because you need to prove your worth, but because your presence right now has the power to shift the emotional landscape around you. Because your heart, exactly as it is, carries a light that someone somewhere desperately needs. Because your story, your struggle, your resilience, your existence have already touched lives you will never know about. I need you because you matter in ways that cannot be measured or articulated, only felt in the quiet depths of the soul. And maybe you've forgotten your own importance. Maybe today you woke up feeling small or disconnected or uncertain about everything. But that's why I'm here, speaking these words. Because sometimes we need someone outside ourselves to remind us of the truth within us. And the truth is, you are needed deeply, quietly, powerfully. You are needed not for what you can give, not for what you can achieve, not for how strong you appear on the outside, but simply for the beauty of who you are at your core. I need you much, and I need you now, because the world is gentler with you in it, because hearts are safer with you near, because love feels more possible when it passes through you first, and because your existence, your breath, your presence, your soul brings something irreplaceable into this moment, and into every moment touched by your being.